a book that I read cover to cover, and it was Vern Verona's Nature's Cancer Fighting Foods. And I embraced everything in that book. And the next day, after I had my cry pity party, I can't do this, so I changed my diet. The next day, I'm very disciplined. I got that from my dad, very disciplined. So I stuck with it, and just all kinds of vegetables. I cut up vegetables, and I'd make my own dressing. And, you know, I didn't even have lettuce in it either. I mean, I would just cut up a variety of vegetables and eat those. And that was my main meal, my main thing. And then I would choose and blend those. And
so you're getting serious nutrition.
I was getting serious nutrition. I also added some, very few, but a few supplements and an herbal combination, B17. I took that. So I took these things and then went through those, still removing the polyps, but a year onto my whole diet, big regimented change, I had 0 polyps.
Wow. And that's amazing. How did that make you feel?
It made me feel great. It was really a blessing.
The fruits of your 1 year of labor of being so disciplined and strict eating paid off quickly.
Very much. And I was ready to shout it from the mountaintops because I had beat genetic cancer. And to be honest, when I started out, I wasn't sure, but I'd been doing tons of research on my gene, figure out what it was and what it was all about. It had only been discovered in 2002. And so I wasn't really sure what the effect would be, but I started looking into this new science called epigenetics. And epigenetics is, it simply said, it's being affected by your environment to change your genes. Well, the first thing that you can control about your environment is
genetic cancer.
And so I was doing that. So I started feeling like, okay, this could probably work. And so when it did work, I was just thrilled. Now, the interesting thing is, the doctor who did that colonoscopy, I thought he would be, what did you do? Tell me all about it. Because I told him that I was doing diet. I was really making big changes there. And he walked in, handed my husband the pictures of my colon. He just said, you're clear, and walked out the room. That's the only words he said. And I was still reeling from the anesthesia, but I wanted to scream at him, don't you want to know about what I do so you can share that with your other patients?
What's your message to cancer patients that may have been told they have some kind of a genetic cancer? What is your message that you want them to take away from this interview?
Well, I tell friends of mine who complain about, well, you know, the genes in my family, and I just shake them up and say, look at me, look what I did, and you can do it too. You just have to make some changes in your life.
Wow. Can you now see that even genetic cancers can be turned around with epigenetic influences such as diet and nutrition? What a tremendous encouragement for you and for me, and a powerful reminder of the truth that cancer is not a death sentence.
I immediately began a program that involved spiritual, mental, and physical health. And I want to be very clear, spiritual was first. And I did end up really attacking my diet. For the first few weeks, I was on an all-raw diet. I postponed the Boston trip. I did go. I wanted to be responsible. So 40 days, I went to my team at Garden of Life, and I told them what had happened to me. They were freaked out. I said, listen, God has already paid the price for me. I am healed. You're going to see it, but I need to step away from work. 6 weeks, you won't hear from me. No emails, no texts. And for me, Ty, that's a miracle if I can go 30 minutes without that, much less 6 weeks. And I did the opposite of what most cancer patients do. You see, cancer patients go and basically submit themselves to the convention. And it's easy. Well, what do you mean it's easy? You have side effects and hair loss. No, it's easy because you let someone else tell you what to do. You let somebody else tell you how your side effects are going to go, what's going to happen,
not
what your
blame the
outcome's
victims
gonna be, what your
now.
prognosis is. They
That
can
doesn't
do
help.
radiation, chemotherapy, and surgery, but they're doing it. You don't have to think for yourself. There's no individuality. You're just a number. But I said, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm going to go after it in every way. 12 to 14 hours a day, Ty. Spiritual, emotional, healing, nutrition, and detoxification. I started with spiritual. I had written a prayer that really was a combination of scripture and some great teachers, and I quoted it 3 times a day out loud, and I honestly felt like the demons in hell were holding their ears like a dog whistle to a dog. I mean, I was storming the gates of hell to get well here. And some people will say, but Jordan, I don't share the same faith as you. All I can tell you is, if you're desperate enough, you will find God on your knees, because I believe in essence cancer is a spiritual disease. Cancer attacks the spirit like nothing else. And I'll give you an example. You go in for a physical, and you're told you have terminal cancer. You walk out of there different. I mean, you literally, it's like your body and your spirit have been hijacked. When you have a headache after a cancer diagnosis, it's not a headache. It's spread to the brain. If your elbow hurts, you don't have a bruise or a broken bone. It's cancer. It's spreading. You wake up every morning like you're looking behind your back, over your shoulder. When is this disease going to kill me? And I believe, Ty, that people who are diagnosed with cancer, they either make up their mind immediately that they're going to conquer, or they begin to die that minute. I didn't say the word cancer very much during those 40 days. I didn't call myself a cancer victim. People go around and say, my son's autistic, I'm diabetic. And if you're going to have a title or a label, don't make it that. It's as if you're saying and believing and receiving it. I didn't receive it. I spent 40 days working my rear end off. I literally was in a sauna, infrared sauna 2 hours a day. I was doing amazing raw food cocktails, phytotherapy or herbalism, consuming an all raw omnivorous diet. I went after it. But you know what I didn't do? Suffer in misery. I had more joy and more peace during my 40 days of healing than most people have with all the money and all the stuff in the world. I was facing a death sentence, 100% chance, and I decided to live. I chose it from the beginning. I walked it out. I prayed those 3 times a day. I went back over every memory that I had in my life. This is work, starting from 2 years old. And any time anyone hurt me or I had hurt them, I wrote the experience down and I prayed until I felt peace. Ty, I'm talking about when I was 10 years old and my baseball coach told me, if you strike out again, I'm going to do something terrible to you. I mean, we actually store cellular memories, emotions, and failures or unforgiveness that turn to bitterness, and we store it, in my mind, like our body grows cancer cells. And I felt like if we fear a malignancy, we should fear unforgiveness and bitterness much more. And I dealt with issues. It took me days, and I dealt with every one. I'm talking about thousands of memories. And people say, well, Jordan, what does it have to do with my health that someone turned me down for the prom when I'm 16? Well, what did it make you feel like? Did you say you were worthless? Did you decide you weren't good enough? There are people out there, Ty, that have had marriages with infidelity. They've had their spouse divorce them. They've had their parents tell them they don't love them. These are serious, and we store them in our body like a virus on a hard drive computer. And if we don't take care of it, they will eat us away.